SoCal Land Rover retailers. It is the Dodgers and the Phillies tonight on Chris Taylor bobblehead giveaway night. First 40,000 fans in attendance, all getting to take one of those home. Welcome inside. Glad you're with us tonight. Joe Davis, Sorrel Hershiser, Cole Wright joins us in a moment. Nomar Garciaparra tonight as well. The Dodgers tonight sending Ross Stripling to the mound, and his last couple times out he has been fantastic. And you really could make the case for Ross as one of the most valuable players on this roster this year.
Yeah, with Walker Buehler in the rotation, Ross Stripling in the rotation, it has been a fantastic to see Ross do so well. You know what? Fastballs play up when they're in the bullpen. Well, his is played down a little bit in the rotation, but the pitch that has really carried him through May is his curveball. The vertical break is off the charts. He can use it at any time, especially with runners in scoring position, and they need another good outing from him tonight.
Nomar is here for a Dodgers spotlight, and who better than to spotlight the guy that's having the bobblehead giveaway. Let's go down to Nomar. Chris Taylor's in the spotlight tonight.
Thanks, Joe. And, you know, I have my bobblehead, so you're going to have a good day today? Yeah, he said yes, so that's exciting, especially since we're spotlighting him. And you look at Chris Taylor, I mean, what an impressive and storybook career. You get a 5th-round draft pick back in 2012, and make your way all the way. We all know as Dodger fans how important he was last year in 2017, becoming the NLCS co-MVP. This year, off to a bit of a slow start, but at the same time, this month, he's had an on-base percentage over 400, looking more like the Chris Taylor that we saw last year. I also like the way he played over the Padres series as well, looking like he's really finding his swing slowly but surely, and that's exciting for Dodger fans.
No question about it, Nomar. And the Dodgers tonight will try to take a series advantage over the Phillies with Clayton Kershaw ready to go tomorrow. Pitching matchup tonight. Ross Stripling for the Dodgers, Zach Eflin for the Phillies. First pitch coming up. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. 60s, the Dodgers and Phillies ready to go. But before first pitch, we go to the field. Brought to you by El Pollo Loco. Here's Cole Wright.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. And despite the clear skies overhead for first pitch, when it rains, it pours, specifically when it comes to the roster and that injury bug. Kenta Maeda, he's the latest casualty. He's sent to the 10-day DL, of course, with that right hip strain after going just an inning and 2/3 last night. That opened the door, of course, for Dennis Santana to get the call up. The 22-year-old, he's pitched 10 games this year between AA and AAA this season, and he boasts a sub-3 ERA. Also headed to the 10-day DL, the veteran Chase Utley with a pesky left thumb sprain. That opens the door for switch pitcher Pat Venditti, who's going to rejoin the team in his third big league stint. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the good news, Joe, is that Clayton Kershaw, he's going to get the nod tomorrow versus Philadelphia. Back to you guys.
All right, Cole, and what will be the finale of this 4-game series in a very good pitching matchup between Kershaw and Aaron Nola, who's having a great season so far for Philadelphia. Chris Taylor bobblehead giveaway night. We've seen a lot of guys throughout baseball this year have big nights on their giveaway nights. Chris hoping to have one of his own. Cesar Hernandez climbs in as Ross Stripling gets ready to go. And he's part of this lineup for the Phillies. In game 3 of this series, Ross Stripling's first pitch of the night is down the middle for a strike, and off we go. Now Ross making his 6th start. His 1.74 ERA, 4th in the majors behind Verlander, DeGrom, and the Cardinals ace Carlos Martinez.
He has been an absolute godsend to this Dodger rotation, coming out of the bullpen thinking he's just going to be a swing guy, but now really cementing himself in the rotation no matter who gets healthy. What he has done in the month of May with just being a foundational piece, putting up 2 unbelievable starts, the last 2 starts. Not only the strikeout totals 9 and 10, which were career highs, but no walks in either start.
Falls behind Hernandez, 3-1. Closed captioning tonight brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Yeah, those 10 Ks against San Diego Friday night. Over 6 2/3, just 1 unearned run against him. That's in there for strike 2. And it's come at the perfect time. Since Kershaw went on the disabled list, Ross Stripling 2-0 with a 1.23 ERA and a 31-2 strikeout to walk ratio. He starts this one with a walk just off of the corner. The guy calling balls and strikes tonight, Tom Woodring, has the tightest zone in baseball.
We can see he got a borderline pitch right, but boy, was that close.
Leadoff man on, and here's Herrera. Fly ball back of third. That's Breivik Valera making his first start in a Dodger uniform. He's got it for the first out.
First baseman number 41, Carlos Santana.
1-on-1 out in the first inning. Carlos Santana to the plate. As the Phillies try to win back-to-back games for the first time in 2 weeks. So it's been a little bit up and down recently for Gabe Kapler's squad. But big picture, they are ahead of schedule. 30-22, just a game out of first in the National League East. A year before anybody thought that they'd be competitive. Stripling's first one misses outside, ball 1. Dodgers have won 9 of 12 after the 6-game losing streak. They started this homestand by saying Okay, they got it going against Washington on the road, but got to figure out how to protect their home turf. And on this homestand so far, they are 5-3. Still work to be done for it to feel like a really good homestand here over the final two. Santana muscles a soft liner that'll sneak through, and that is a base hit. Taylor throws it to second. It gets by, but no damage. It's one of the times where the shift bites you.
Number 23, Aaron Altair.
A broken bat. Everyone is now scrambling as Chris chases the ball out into left field of where we're going to go, who's going to cover what base. So Ross Stripling goes to third. A couple of middle infielders around second base. Nobody there to get the back pick. No damage was done when the ball got away.
That ball was 53 miles per hour off of the bat. League average is high 80s. 2 on with 1 out, first inning, and Aaron Altair out of the cleanup spot. Fouls back the first pitch, strike 1. Altair against Ross Stripling in his career is 3 for 3 with a home run.
This is not the same Ross Stripling. He has been locating his fastball really well. The curveball has been absolutely outstanding since he joined the rotation.
Slipped out of his hand there, 1-1. His last start was the first time this year that he's thrown the curve more than he's thrown the slider. On a 1-1. Finds his own 1-2. Still trying to find the feel for it in this first inning, though. He's shaking his head. You can see the look on his face that not quite feeling right just yet.
This month of May, that curveball's only been hit at a 105 clip. You say, well, that's where all the success is coming from, but there's some other pitches that have improved also.
Gets him with a high fastball. 2 out.
That fastball is definitely another one that has improved. The league was hitting almost 400 on that before he went into the rotation, but now the league in the last month has only hit a little under 250 against that fastball. So the combination, the fastball and the curveball, have been outstanding.
With 2 out, Nick Williams. Had a home run last night to open the scoring. Phillies doing a lot of their damage in this series so far in the first 2 innings of the game. Bottom falls off, change up, strike 1. We'll talk about the curve and the way that that's grown for Stripling here in May. The fastball has improved. Slider's been as good as ever. Now the changeup he's throwing twice as frequently as he did last year.
You come in out of the bullpen, if you're coming into any situation with runners on, inherited runners, you're going to go with the top 2 pitches that felt good in the bullpen. But as a starter, you're out there and trying to go through the order multiple times, using different weapons at different times, and you have different times that you actually come out of the bullpen. Think about it. Every inning you come out to warm up. You can take those 8 pitches and say, you know what, make sure I have a feel for the changeup here because this guy's coming up. Make sure I'm going to have a feel for the slider because I got a few lefties coming up.
Popped into left field. Jock Peterson is there. A little bit of traffic in the first, but a 0 for Stripling. And Zach Eflin ready to take it for the Phillies on a gorgeous night for baseball. Dodgers come to bat for the first time after this. trying to get things going. Even though they're 9-3 in their last 12 games, they're hitting .230 as a group during that stretch. Jock Peterson leads it off. Muncy and Grandal, and then Kemp will have his contacts in. Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, Breivik Valera with his first start in a Dodger uniform, and Logan Forsythe at second. Again, Zach Eflin, who started this season in the minors, was called up at the beginning of May, now making his 5th start. Got off to a good start first couple, but it appears some adjustments being made against him, and he's got knocked around a little bit his last couple times.
He adjusted his fastball in returning to the majors, went more 4 seams compared to 2 seams, and that seemed to work for a couple of starts, but the league might be adjusting back.
First pitch misses, 1-0 on Peterson. Yeah, and in his last start Friday against the Blue Jays, 6 runs on 9 hits. Peterson starts the day with a base hit to right center. Past a diving Kingery for a leadoff single.
That was a rope, and he had to squeeze the rope through the shift. Jock continues to work on his swing to make it more compact, continuing to use the 2-handed follow through. Finds a little ground right there.
That brings up Max Muncy. The Dodgers trying to crack through early against a Phillies starter because 2 games in this series, no luck over the first 5 innings of the game. Vince Velasquez the first night, Jake Arrieta last night. In this month of May, it's been the single best starting staff in baseball. Eflin's 1-0. And they're for a strike, 1-1. Zach is 24, 25 in a couple weeks. Originally from Orlando, Florida. Was a Dodger for a day. One ball, 2 strikes on Muncy. Originally drafted in the first round by the Padres and was one of their top prospects. And then came to the Dodgers in the Matt Kemp trade along with Yasmani Grandal. But one day later, the Dodgers shipped him off to Philadelphia in exchange for Jimmy Rollins. So never did suit up in Dodger blue. Now in his 3rd year with time in the majors. Here's his 1-2. Got Muncy with a fastball to 97 that time, 1 out.
Fastball will go 93 to sometimes even 98. That's going to be the 4-seamer usually when he goes up in the strike zone. Is going to be the one with the higher velocity. We've seen him take a few to the left-handed hitters so far and kind of run them away from them. And that's the 2-seamer.
Yasmani Grandal has a home run against him in his career. Takes ball 1. When Zach Eflin was a junior in high school, he was throwing in the low to mid 80s. And over the next year, to make himself a first-round draft prospect, he added 10 miles per hour, grueling early morning workout sessions, a lot of long toss to strengthen that arm. A little bit outside, and it's 2-0. And the big thing for him more recently is that he's finally healthy. Bad knee issues throughout much of his career. Had surgery on those knees. It was 2 falls ago. And so last year he was still kind of recovering from the surgeries. Drops one into the knees, 2-1. He said that for much of his life, Oral, he was pitching to be pain-free. Like that was his whole thought when he was going through his windup. What hurts the least? That's a tough way to live.
He's 6'6" and probably more like a newborn deer when he was growing up, with all the height but no muscle mass to actually move it around in a coordinated way. I can see why he would all of a sudden get a huge velocity jump. Get enough strength to move this great lever system.
He lets a 2-1 fly and misses ball 3. And then he packed on 20 pounds this offseason. So it's been a continuing evolution of Zach Eflin, both physically and as a pitcher.
Well, the heavier you are, the more efficient the lever system can work, just from the ground force production of going down that hill.
Full count.
You'll hear about guys that think they're overweight and they have an off season where they lose weight and they lose their fastball, or at least the fact that they lose the ability to throw their fastball consistently at a high velocity that they're used to, because it takes more work to throw it that hard with less weight behind it.
Peterson at first, 1 out. Eflin's 3-2. Grandal swings and misses, strike 3. So back-to-back Ks after the leadoff single, this time with a change.
Dodger lineup learns a few things. He can get the fastball by us, that was to Muncy, and he can get the changeup by you, that's to Grandal.
And here's Matt Kemp, whose .341 average is second in the National League. If in March you had Scooter Gennett leading the National League batting race with Matt Kemp second, you're a big winner, and you're the only one.
You'd have about $1 billion if you just put $1 on it.
0-1.
Matt Kemp's batting average has not been luck either. Yes, we know he has a great resume and he could return to that form, but he is really locked in. Nice and still and calm in the batter's box. Completely understanding himself and his tools right now and his swing and how to apply it to the situation. There's been no panic and very few awkward swings. When he makes an awkward swing, he kind of disciplines himself and gets right back in there and locks in. He knows the adjustment.
On a 1-1, Kemp yanks one past the lunging, wobbling down the line into the corner. Peterson off and racing with a crack of the bat. He's headed for the plate. He will score standing up on a double from Kemp.
Kemp with his 27th RBI as we take a look at this double on Carl's Cam. A breaking ball that hangs to the inside. He just barely keeps it fair, and because it rattles around in that left field corner, gave Jock Peterson plenty of time to circle the bases.
So Kemp has the Dodgers on the board in the first. And Cody Bellinger to the plate. Fastball up and away. It's 1-0.
Might have just seen an adjustment Cody's making, a little change. Did I see the bat straight up and down the whole time he's getting ready? It's not resting on his shoulder and then going up. He's starting with it already elevated, the barrel of the bat. There's always been kind of a timing mechanism for Cody that he's used from his youth, where the bat kind of is on his shoulder wiggling, and then he brings it up as the pitcher comes towards home plate. But getting rid of that little bit of movement and just kind of leaving it where he wants it to start from.
Fouled it off, 2-1. Bellinger against Zach Eflin. Fades into the zone, 2-2. First of his 39 home runs last year. First as a big leaguer came against Eflin on a night where he would homer again against Hector Neris in the 9th inning. We got the silent treatment. 2-2. On the corner, strike 3. Fastball bullseye to finish the inning, but the Dodgers get one and a double from Kemp. Sayed in this series as Kemp doubles home Peterson. Joe Davis, Orel Hershiser, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Cole Wright, and Scott Kingery to lead off this second against Ross Stripling. Ball one on a 24-year-old rookie. Signed a big contract before he even made his major league debut. It's been a rough start for him, hitting just .222. He says he feels like he's ready to come out of it. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's a rarity for Ross Stripling to throw 3 balls in a row here tonight. 4 out of 6 first pitch strikes to the hitters. That's something during his hot streak he's been absolutely amazing at. First pitch strikes about 76% of the batters.
3-1.
Talked about the mechanics of Matt Kemp and how he has been locked in and can make small adjustments right away. Well, Ross Stripling's in the same groove.
On the corner, back in there at 3-2. Here's why it's important, Orel, what you're talking about, getting that first pitch strike. Obviously it's important, but here's some data to back it up. When Ross Stripling starts the at-bat with a strike, opponents get on at a 229 clip. When he starts the at-bat with a ball, it's above 400, which is an elite on-base percentage.
In reality, those stats are exactly right. But what is happening to pitch selection after those stats is that the changeup and the curveball slowly get eliminated as he falls behind, and he has to then default to the 2 pitches that he throws strikes the most with, which is the fastball and the slider, and they're so close together, and his slider's not really dominant
when the batter knows that it's probably a fastball or slider, they need that change between the changeup, the curve, and then to the hard stuff, that fastball slider combo.
So ball one kind of turns him into a reliever again.
Yeah, a little bit like a reliever, and it just kind of backs him into counts because the at-bat started out with a ball that the hitter's going to see less of that great curveball.
Working on Kingery to open this second. His payoff is low and inside ball 4, and those numbers hold, and that he fell behind 1-0 and eventually 3-0, and Kingery does reach to open the inning.
Third baseman number 29, Mitch Walden.
And we saw right there that was a changeup there in a 3-2 count, but it also gives him less room for misses because of that original ball to the count.
Well, congratulations to this guy, Mitch Walden, who's about to make his major league debut here. A 25-year-old from Stockton, California, just called up this afternoon. I remember last night when Pedro Florimon, second batter of the game, fouled the ball off his foot and limped his way back into the dugout eventually, was replaced by Michael Franco. Well, Florimon broke his foot on that foul ball. That's why Walden was called up. Other than 2. You're motioning to me here like you want to talk about Rhys Hoskins, and I think
yeah, I was thinking another broken bone.
Yeah, broke his jaw.
That foul ball when he full swung and fouled it into his own face.
And then doubled last night.
Doubled, and now he has finds out he has a broken jaw. I mean, talk about playing in pain. That is a foul ball. It's hard to even see that he fouled it off. Went up into his face. He had to have been removed from the game. The next night, it's a double.
A curve in there for a strikeout. Second of the game for Ross Stripling.
Catcher number 38, Jorge Alfaro.
Maybe the ball loosened it on the foul tip, and then when he was trucking into second, it jarred a little fracture in there. I think it came from the foul tip. That was nasty. One on, one out, and the very impressive rookie catcher Jorge Alfaro. Like you say, impressive, just eye test, body test, tools wise, even before you see the production. But the way he's been producing lately, he's impressive across the board, hitting close to 300 this month with power. On a 1-0 from Ross Stripling. Cuts and misses, 1-1.
It's very easy to overlook, too, because of his impressive tools with the power and the arm behind the plate, that he's also calling pitches for a very good starting staff. And so for a rookie to be back there, to be putting down good fingers and keeping those guys composed and locked in as good as the starting staff has been, I think you've got to say that he's got pretty good baseball savvy.
Fastball fouled back, 1-2. Still just 24 years old. Debuted last year and put up good offensive numbers in his couple of months, but a lot of people on the outside looked at it and said there's no way he's that kind of hitter already. It just happened to be a good couple months. I mean, he hit .318. Average of .254 coming into this game, but trending in the right direction the last few weeks. The man at first and one out. Here comes a 1-2 from Stripling. And a curve gets him swinging and missing. Second K of the inning on that curveball for Stripling.
56, Zach Eflin.
Well, that just is an outstanding curveball that actually is playing up velocity-wise and playing up in vertical movement. He's got that thing dropping right out of the sky.
Zach Eflin, who hit his first career home run in his last start. Not just first career big league home run, first pro home run, period. Fouls off the first pitch. He's a big guy, so you can see how if he got a hold of one, it could fly a ways.
A lot of his height comes from his legs. He's got some seriously long legs. Get down the mound closer to the hitter with that stride. It's a pretty big stride and spread out there in the batter's box.
There's the hammer. Oh-2. Back to the fastball to get Eflin, and 3 straight strikeouts for Stripling after the leadoff walk. On his swing and that perfectly manicured beard. Pretty spot on. Our Land Rover Performance Spotlight, his younger sister Noelle throughout the ceremonial first pitch. Wow, a strike. A special night for the Taylor family in town from Virginia Beach. Chris to the plate, and in the spotlight down to Nomar.
Well, you're right. That is a pretty good looking bobblehead. That's one of the things that you first look at when they actually give you a bobblehead. You're like, okay, is it near my likeness? This is pretty close. This is a pretty good one. So I'm sure Chris Taylor will appreciate that. And then also the fact that the Dodgers do an unbelievable job. When you're getting honored with a bobblehead, they get your family involved. You have your sister throwing out the first pitch. She throws a strike. Now she gets to talk smack to you. That's awesome.
Leading off this inning again, Zach Eflin. Trying to get things going, Nomar. 1 for 8 in this series with 6 strikeouts.
No, you're right, Joe. He is trying to get things back. You know, it was funny. He had a great series against the Padres, and I loved his interview after that series. He touched on it about how he's been working so hard in the batting cage during batting practice, but it hasn't been translating into a game on a consistent basis. And he was saying how it was for the first time where he felt like he was able to translate it over into the game. And I know exactly what he's talking about, because it really, when you're struggling, oftentimes you know what you're trying to work on. Batting practice can feel great. And then all of a sudden when you get into the game, the old bad habits or whatever has a tendency to be putting you into a slump come back and manifest itself. So you're trying to accomplish what you feel in batting practice and try to feel the same thing in the game.
Lays off a fastball to work the count full.
And what was also telling was him talking about when one of the days he felt really good. He hit a home run against the Padres, and he said it was the first day where he didn't feel like he had to guess up there, but that he was able to just react.
This is a pop-up that Carlos Santana settles under in front of the dugout and calmly makes the catch on.
Third baseman, number 33, Brave Valera.
So Taylor the first out here in the second as Santana makes the play. The Dodgers in front 1-0, and Breivik Valera to the plate. Valera making his first start in a Dodger uniform. For 5 thus far this season, all off of the bench at the big league level. Debuted last September with the St. Louis Cardinals and came over early this year in a trade. So a very under the radar trade. A couple of minor leaguers. The Dodgers really like what he's been doing in Oklahoma City.
Dodgers needing guys that'll get on base, have quality at bats, and grind it out.
Roller to second. Hernandez.
Second baseman, number 11, Logan Forsythe.
2 out, second inning. Here's Forsythe. Average at 300 since he returned from the month-long stay on the disabled list with a shoulder injury. Logan just hasn't really been able to get going in his 2 years with the Dodgers for one reason or another. He's kind of playing catch-up all last year because of the early injuries, and a very similar story so far this year. Falls behind 0-2. So he never really had his best swing last year. Walk rate skyrocketed because that became his approach. Swing didn't feel right. He just tried to grind at bats as deep as he could. Strokes one up the middle. The Kingery fields off a bounce and throws to first to get him. What a play by the rookie Scott Kingery.
Absolutely amazing. He gets to this ball up the middle, and then after he gets it, can he really get his body contorted in a way to get it over there to first base in time? It looks like he did. Close.
Dodger fans, it's time to replace the surprises courtesy of
The Rangers at 7:10 p.m. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will take home a Dodgers beach towel, courtesy of Chef Burrito Seasonings. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Got through that one without laughing.
Oh man, you are killing the game.
I'm on
tonight,
a roll,
buddy.
baby.
Still early. Pace yourself.
But I've had a lot of coffee. I need a
Top of the
fidget to
order.
wear it off.
Ross Stripling to Cesar Hernandez, strike one. Hernandez started this game with a walk. One of the two that Stripling's issued, but he has struck out 4. Here he comes with an 0-1. A curve is tapped by the outstretched glove of Stripling to a charging Forsythe for the first out.
Kingery robs Forsythe of a hit. Forsythe said, okay, watch this.
Logan was out helping Max Muncy in his early work at second base today.
We had a little inkling there might be something wrong with Chase Utley. We saw Muncy out there taking grounders at second base with Forsythe.
And as Colwright reported before the game, just in case you're just joining us, Chase Utley's been placed on the disabled list with a thumb injury. So perhaps what could lead to Muncy seeing some time at second. Curve is in for a strike on Herrera. The fact that they're both left-handed hitters, that was kind of working against Muncy getting any kind of significant time at second. When Utley was healthy. Maybe an opening there for him. It's 1-1. And actually, Muncy has played some second base in his major league career while he was in Oakland.
Talking to Chris Woodward, the Dodger infield instructor, he said, boy, he can turn too. I mean, this is just not an experiment. He will be just fine there.
Herrera lays the bunt down. Grandal squeezes it foul. Strike 2.
The Dodgers took a full infield. They didn't just take it around the infield. They were hitting 6 and 7, 10 balls to short, turning double plays from second. They switched into a shift where each guy got about 10 reps there. And Muncy was completely at second base the whole time with Forsythe, and right in rhythm with the whole infield.
Chris Woodward said the range maybe not great, but as he is anywhere you put him, solid. You kind of know what you're going to get. Stripling to Herrera. 1-2. Popped up. Who wants it? Valera. 2 gone.
Max Muncy, thinking about him, the only thing that's really surprised me about his tools is the power to all fields. And when he pulls the ball, when he hit it up into the second portion of the pavilion the other night, I'm like, wow, did not anticipate that kind of pop.
Yeah, to your point about it being to all fields, remember his first home run as a Dodger was the other way. And then he almost hit one in his next at bat that night down in San Diego. Carlos Santana takes the ball. This is the only hit for the Phillies so far. Little teardrop against the shift his first time. Two and up.
New bat for him because in the last at bat that hit was a broken bat. Another advantage to the hitters. I think they should use one bat a game, and if it breaks, they got to keep using it.
Deal with it. What part of the bat do you choose if it completely gets chopped? You know, like
I don't know. I mean, you just go up there and hope to get a walk, maybe.
Yeah.
Everything is to help the hitters.
But say you have a choice between the barrel and most of the handle. What are you going to take up?
I don't know.
It'd be hard to grip the barrel.
Yeah.
Not going to do any damage with the handle, though. 3-1.
I think this conversation's going nowhere.
Yeah,
we'll just change it.
Here comes the 3-1. Santana hits a ground ball, but perfectly positioned is Logan Forsythe. The finish a 1-2, 3/3 for Ross Stripling, who's got 4 Ks and a bunch of weak contact. In front of the Phillies to the bottom of the 3rd. Hard throwing righty Zach Eflin to his counterpart Ross Stripling with strike 1. Bouncing ball to Cesar Hernandez for the first out. You know, Eflin has flashed very good stuff. I mean, you're even seeing it in the first couple of innings tonight, but he's had a few dominant outings throughout his career. That does not include the first outing as a big leaguer. June of 2016. Zach Eflin gave up 8 runs on 9 hits, including 3 home runs against the Blue Jays. Now, by game score, which I know you've heard of, Oral, some fans may not be familiar with it, but game score basically, it's just a number on a scale to 100, where that's the best, 0 is the worst. Everything good you do adds to the number. Everything bad you do removes it. So 100 the best, 0 the worst. By game score, his major league debut was the 5th worst debut in the history of baseball.
That's something to recover from.
And he did. He had 2 complete games over the next month. His 0-1 to Jock Peterson. Dribbled foul, and it's 0-2. So it got me wondering, what could possibly be worse? Well, there are 4 worse ones. 2004, Arnie Munoz, Chicago White Sox. And chances are you're not going to have heard of any of these guys, because if the debut is that bad, they probably didn't turn out to have much of a career. But Arnie Munoz, 11 runs in 3 innings in his debut. Pitched in 23 more games in the majors, never got a win. John Stevens, who is from Australia, debuted with the Baltimore Orioles in 2002. He gave up 9 runs in 3 innings. Pitched in 11 more games. That was it. Here's a 1-2. Peterson bounces it back to Eflin. 2 up, 2 down. This guy actually went on to a career that lasted a few years. Mike Busby, St. Louis. 1996, he debuted by allowing 13 runs in 4 innings in a game in Atlanta. I mean, how do you come back and pitch again after that?
And it sounds like it's almost like they were called up because the staff was really in trouble, because even to give 13 runs up.
Right, wear it, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, where's the bullpen?
With 2 out, it's Max Muncy. takes a little bit low, ball 1. And then you go back to 1915, Philadelphia, but the A's, a guy named Bruno Haas. Bruno Haas in his major league debut gave up 13 hits and 16 walks.
Where's the manager and the pitching coach in 1915?
Well, it was Connie Mack, sitting somewhere in a suit. That ball's pummeled to straightaway. Muncy to dead central. 2-0 Dodgers.
The spotlight tonight with Nomar's on Chris Taylor, but Max Muncy is saying, shift that thing over to me. And again, the deceptive power. It's not tremendous bat speed, but the timing and the ability to square it up and backspin it to all fields.
2 out. Yes, Monty Grandal takes ball 1, and I don't think it's like written in a contract anywhere, Nomar, that you're not allowed to shift the spotlight mid-game a little bit.
Well, the last spotlight was Max Muncy, and we talked about his approach. And I actually talked to him when we did the spotlight on him, and he said, my goal is to hit it up the middle. Look at the gaps, whether it's left center, right center, take it back. It's not about the Lonchenko, it's about driving the ball, and that was a perfect example of doing exactly what he's trying to accomplish. Dead center, beautiful swing.
And a 2-0 Dodger lead on Muncy's 7th, which is 1 shy of the team lead, which is held by this man, along with Cody Bellinger.
RBIs per at bat, though, Max Muncy is at the top of the heap for the Dodgers.
He's among the top in all of baseball.
It's like 1 every 5 at bats.
Without a crazy amount of opportunities, because the Dodgers do not have a very high on base percentage collectively. 3-2. Eflin back home. And that's ball 4. First walk of the night for the Dodgers comes with 2 out.
Number 27, Matt.
I still want to hear those stats on that guy that walked 16.
Yeah, Bruno Haas,
Yeah,
the man.
What finally happened with him?
He went and played pro football.
Oh, okay. So how many starts? He just had the 1 start?
He pitched in 5 more games.
He got another shot.
Connie ran him out there again. He said, enough of this sport. I'm playing football. Matt Kemp, left field. Matt Kemp, forget about it. A 2-run bullet and a 4-0 lead.
We got to keep talking about Bruno because it's waking up the bats. Matt Kemp working his way around the field. First at bat, a double down the left field line, and now the exit velocity to left center at 108 with a little more altitude. Get you a 4-bagger.
Zach Eflin goes from getting the first 2 outs of the inning on 6 pitches to feeling like Bruno Haas. 1 ball, no strikes on Cody Bellinger. Since those 2 outs, 2 home runs and a walk. 3 runs across. Is 1-0 to Bellinger. Dips low, ball 2. Kemp joining Muncy with 7. Two and 1. Ball 3. This is starting to feel a little bit like Zach Eflin's first game at Dodger Stadium, which was in 2016 in August, when he gave up 7 runs over 3 innings and then was shut down to have knee surgery. Talked about that. That came right after that start at Dodger Stadium. Thinking about getting those knees worked on for years. Had been bothering him since he was in junior high. I remembered walking off of the mound here at Dodger Stadium, finally really thinking, okay, it's time. Bellinger hits it hard. It top spins down for a base hit into right.
Number 3,
Chris Taylor to the plate and back down to Nomar.
Well, when you have an inning like this, especially with 2 outs, the way the offense has been, you're hoping hitting is contagious. Cody Bellinger having a nice swing there. Now, CT3, we talked about some of the struggles he's had this season. We talked about how he looked pretty good against the Padres series. Struggled a little bit here. You want to actually catch what the rest of the guys have had this inning. You're thinking about it. You're going, okay, you got a pitcher on the ropes. Look for your pitch, stay within yourself, and take it right back up the middle. Keep passing the baton, which has been the mantra for a lot of years for this Dodgers offense.
Chris will be the 7th man to bat in this inning. Trying to join Dexter Fowler, Wilson Contreras, and Cody Bellinger on the list of guys that have homered on their bobblehead nights this year. Eflin delivers and Taylor takes ball 1.
We talked about it at the beginning of the game that Chris Taylor's on-base percentage for the month of May is over 400. It's 11th highest in the National League for the month of May, which has definitely been an improvement. And you're thinking, okay, how come he's not leading off? Because that's what you're looking for, your leadoff hitter. Sometimes hitting at the bottom of the lineup isn't necessarily a demotion. It's a way to try to get the guy confidence back into his swing. I've said this numerous times that sometimes when they move you down in the lineup, you can look at it as a demotion, but I look at it as a time where maybe there's just less at bats. So there's a time where, let's say I'm maybe 1 for 3, or I'm just trying to find myself compared to being at the top of the lineup, and let's say I get that 1 hit, but I got 5 at bats or 4 at bats. Now I'm 1 for 4 compared to bottom of the lineup, and that 1 for 3 feels a lot better going home.
Bellinger headed for second, and he has stolen a base against Jorge Alfaro, which is not easy to do.
Eflin at 6'6", and Bellinger with a good jump. I think he steals it off the pitcher, not the catcher. Cody with an early slide, which kept him very low and got in there cleanly.
It's not an actual, it's not a bad idea there, even with 2 outs, because you're going, listen, if the worst case, even if I get thrown out, I got a guy who's used to leading off that'll come up and possibly lead off the next inning if I do get thrown out.
On a 2-1 pitch, Taylor, it's a chopper wide of the bag, 2-2.
And as a hitter, as a right-hander, there were times, well, there are numerous times that you're able to notice out of your peripheral vision the guy at first base is able to get a good jump. And I know even when I was batting second, I really made a conscious effort when I had a guy like Juan Pierre hitting in front of me. And when he took off, I could take the pitch because I'd rather hit with him on second base.
Strike 3 call with a fastball to the bottom of the zone. And the inning comes to an end. But the Dodgers play long ball here in the 3rd. Muncy with his 7th to center field. Then Matt Kemp hits number 7 of his own. And the Dodgers have a 4-0 lead. For great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. Heart of the order for the Phillies here in the fourth. Ross Stripling to Aaron Altair with a fastball strike. Muncy and Kemp home runs in the third off Zach Eflin. He's been much more human his last couple of times out after dominating in his first two starts in the bigs this year. Two and one. On the German-born Aaron Altair. On a U.S. military base in Germany. His mom was in the armed forces. His dad, former pro soccer player in Germany. Carves out a fly ball to right center. And Bellinger runs it down. Kemp giving way. 1 out.
Number 5, Nick Williams.
With one gone, here's Nick Williams. Stripling to the knees with a strike. Two. Where did that one miss?
Since the walk in the second inning that led off the inning, he has retired 7 straight with 3 Ks. I thought he had his 4th one right there.
So did he. Again, it's the tightest zone in baseball. Tom Woodring, the home plate umpire, goes to the changeup instead. And boy, this 4-pitch mix of Ross Stripling is something to behold.
Number 4, Scott Kingery.
Ridiculous changeup, throwing more and more. And he can because he's getting a feel for it, understanding that it's not going to be a mistake. It's not an experiment. It's an out pitch.
He's got 5 Ks total. He's got Scott Kingery up there with 2 gone in the fourth. Gets a belt high strike. Yeah, when you think Ross Stripling, traditionally, think of the slider. Tonight, the slider is the only pitch that hasn't produced a strikeout. Kingery hits it foul, and it's 0-2. Fastball, the curve, and the change, all producing Ks for him tonight.
His changeup and his curveball all year have been outstanding out pitches. They're just getting hit a little bit over the 100 clip.
Curveball gets Kingery flailing, and that's that in the fourth. On 11 pitches, and Ross Stripling has retired 9 straight.
Join T-Mobile in showing appreciation for all military by sharing a photo or video with the hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Breivik Valera leads off the fourth for the Dodgers. They lead 4-0 against Zach Eflin, and pours in a strike. Bottom third of the order. Forsythe and Stripling to follow. It's 1-1. Flipped into short left. Kingery's out. It's going to drop in. And Valera's got his first hit in the Dodgers uniform. Maybe not how he dreamt it up, but it looks like a line drive in the box score, Breivik.
The farther he gets away from this hit, the harder it will be hit when he tells the story. A little slicer. It counts.
Forsythe. Oh, 1. Takes that one away. Ball 1 strike on Logan Forsythe. Valera's at first after the leadoff single, and Eflin checks on him. Two and 1. Faro throwing down. We were joking around before the game today, setting our own little betting line on how many throws Jorge Alfaro would make to the bases. What do we set it at? 3.5?
3.5, but he's already up to 2. Cody Bellinger actually stole a bag off of him. We should have just labeled it as back picks.
Right. That's now
1.
But in the series, I'm thinking 4.
Oh, yeah, 4.
Tailing fastball for a strike, evens the count at 2-2.
He might have more in this series than our 2 catchers combined for the year on back picks.
They have something to take a look at here.
Oh, it is very close. Hard to keep your eye on the glove touching his hip and seeing if the hand gets in there behind the foot. He said play on. Safe.
You can't get picked off after your first hit. Forsythe stays alive. First hit is a Dodger. Second hit is a big leaguer, by the way. Valera had one in a Cardinals uniform in his 5 games last year. 26 years old out of Venezuela. 26, but without the beard, could pass for 16.
We watch those plays that are so close, and then they say play on. We say play on an awful lot, and that is a compliment to the umpires.
That's a good point.
They're so close to the naked eye. The teams want to wait a little bit and check it out.
Bouncing ball to the hold it short. Kingery knocks it down, but no play. This should be an infield single for Forsythe.
Kingery robbed him on his first AB with an unbelievable play up the middle. This one having to range to his right. The last kick kind of hits off his glove, and that's going to make everybody safe. And Forsythe's going to be 1 for 2.
And it is ruled a base hit. Ross Stripling to the plate in a sacrifice situation. Bunts it along first, and he's gonna reach. Alfaro overruns it. Stripling saying, where's the ball? Where's the throw? I get to stay here? The Kepler's out to argue.
Ross Stripling bunts, and he's following the bunt out of the box and creating his own baseline, so he sees it. He's just coming out of the box. A little traffic right there, but Alfaro gets distracted enough that he forgets the baseball. Ross in the front of the box to keep the ball fair, just running straight towards first base.
Successful sacrifice and an E2. Ross has really been working hard on his bunting since moving into the rotation over the last few weeks. Every single day before batting practice with Bob Guerin. He's in there trying to make himself better at that. That was a perfect one. Loaded up, nobody out. Jock Peterson stands in. Swings away, hits a high fly ball to right center, but just missed it, and Aaron Altair will make the catch. Plenty deep enough to score Valera. The Dodgers lead at 5-0. At the corners, one away. Max Muncy to the plate. We look at our Morongo Casino Resort and Spa slow-mo cam. It is home run his last time.
Fantastic power at all fields, but he followed his directions, his own, by hitting that one right up the middle a long way.
Boy, it's nice to see Jock Peterson cut it loose on that swing.
Well, we've been waiting for the new mechanics and the new swing thoughts to bring some power, and that was almost the grand salami with that sac fly.
Victor Arano begins to warm. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Dodgers against Zach Eflin. And Muncy fouls it off, strike 1. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Eflin, who had an ERA below 2 through his first 2 major league starts this year, has now gotten lit up in back-to-back outings. 6 runs on 9 hits against Toronto on Friday, and already 5 in the bank in this one. Muncy with a bullet that's snared at second by Hernandez.
Catcher Yasmani Randolph.
Dave Roberts and Jock Peterson. 2 out, it's Grandal. Pitching him backwards, getting ahead 0-1. Yasmani has the lone walk against Eflin tonight. Came in to score on Kemp's home run. Kemp on deck. Other than 2. This so far has been another instance of the Dodgers overcoming a lack of base hits all over the place and situational hitting with home runs. They're 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight, but have 5 runs. Thanks larger to the 2 homers. First and third, 2 out. 0-2. Got him swinging with a fastball. For the Dodgers, add 1 and a sacrifice fly from Jock Peterson, and after 4, it's 5-0. Brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Get incredible deals on a stylish new Corolla. Ross Stripling, since Clayton Kershaw hit the disabled list, has pitched 27 innings and allowed 3 runs.
He's got the strikeout ball working too. A little over 16 innings in his last 6 innings, 25 Ks, Joe. So he's locating pitches and he has been efficient. In the second inning, only 18 pitches. Other than that, those numbers are really good. And now with a 5-0 lead, that is something that a lot of the starters have not been used to, pitching with a large league. Follow the LA Dodgers baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
You know, so important that Ross Stripling does what you're talking about tonight, and that is pitch efficiently, with the bullpen having thrown the 7 1/3 last night. And he's at a spot here at just 56 pitches through 4 innings where there's plenty left in the tank. Completely built up at this point. Bottom of the order, Mitch Walding swats one foul. You could make a case, and by wins above replacement, the case has been made statistically, that Ross Stripling has been the single most valuable Dodger in 2018. 0-2.
Offensively near the top, Grandal and Kemp. Pitching staff-wise at the top, Ross Stripling and Walker Buehler.
The 4 that we all had leading the team in WAR at the end of May.
And Max Muncy is coming up the totem pole also.
A curve has him swinging himself out of his helmet. Ross Stripling with his 7th K.
Now his last 17 innings, he has 26 strikeouts, so he's not just a borderline big leaguer swing guy. He's a guy who's been slipped into the rotation and might not leave for a long time.
1 out in the 5th, and the catcher Alfaro comes up. Against the guy they call Chicken Strip. He actually jokingly called himself that for the Players Weekend jersey, and it's kind of stuck. First pitch curve bounced to Taylor. 2 up, 2 down. It's perfect though, isn't it, for an unassuming guy like him, down to earth guy. Chicken Strip.
Down to earth guy that's shoving himself into the spotlight.
So
you go 2 outings ago, he set a career high in strikeouts with 9. You go the last outing, he surpassed that with an outing of 10 strikeouts. Here tonight, 7 strikeouts. Is he trying to get to 11 tonight? Another career high.
Flipped into center field and a pinch hit base hit for Yasmuel Valentin. Night officially over for Zach Eflin with that pinch hit single. Snapping a string of 11 in a row, retired. Here's Hernandez. Taking ball 1. Curve lands, a ball and a strike. Years old out of Texas. In his 3rd major league season. That's the 1-1 fly. Dribbled in front of the plate. Stripling's got it. He's got 5 shutout innings. This 5th coming on 8 pitches. Halfway home in a 5-0 game. shutout innings so far tonight from Ross Stripling.
Been outstanding. 7 strikeouts. He's locating all his pitches. When he gets ahead, it puts people away. It could be the changeup, could be the curveball, could be the elevated fastball. Again, Ross Stripling is starting to spoil us.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, and this is a guy who started the season out of the bullpen, then looked like he was coming in as a spot starter, which he was. But it's going to be hard to take him out of the rotation, even if you get fully healthy as far as the starters go.
Yeah, the consistency, the depth. He's going 6 innings. And you know what? Looks like he's going to go farther than 6 innings tonight, the way the pitch count's going and the need there is to stretch him a little bit. It's going to be easier with the 5-run lead right now.
Victor Arano, his 2nd game in this series. Starts Matt Kemp with a strike. Kemp is now leading the National League with that .349 average. RBI double in the first, 2-run home run in the 3rd. It's a bouncer to 3rd. Mitch Walding for the first out.
Center field, Cody Bellinger.
It was good to see Cody Bellinger barrel a ball off his last stop.
Now we mentioned that adjustment he's making with where the barrel of the bat is. And so he's eliminated a movement, and maybe that'll give him a little more consistency when he launches that barrel, that upright barrel there that he used to try and time that position with the pitcher's delivery as the ball was coming into the hitting area, but now he's just getting it there, setting it there with a little waggle, and then launching from there.
On a 1-1 pitch, Bellinger laid on a fastball, 1-2. Digs it out, rips a base hit to right center. Bellinger hustling out of the box, will throw on the brakes. He came into the game 3 for his last 41. He is 2 for 3 tonight. Nomar, your spotlight is a kiss of death. Chris Taylor is the only position player, and actually the only player period in the order now that hasn't reached base.
No, you're right, and it seems like that, but it seems like the spotlight guys, after I have them, have a tendency to get hot. We were talking about Max Muncy. You see Matt Campbell, he's been hot actually all year long, so I can't take credit for that, but Max Muncy swinging the bat well. So yeah, maybe Chris Taylor can change that right now, especially on his bobblehead. But even if it doesn't happen, he might say, well, now that the spotlight's off of me, now I can really start getting hot and you can focus on someone else.
These guys just can't take the pressure of being right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. Can I blame the bobblehead rather than the fact that I'm actually having in the spotlight?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No defense.
All right, I'll wear it.
1-on-1 out. Here's an 0-1. That backs up, and it's banged over 3rd and down the line. Into the corner for Chris Taylor. Bellinger on his horse and headed for the play. It's an RBI double and a 6-0 lead. So much for the kiss of death. He's just fine even with your eyes on him, Nomar.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, I think we have to talk about it in order to inspire them and says, I'm going to change things around. And that's exactly, brought the hands in nicely, pulling that ball right down the line for a nice double and an RBI. Staying on the breaking ball. When you're struggling, it's fun. When you're struggling, those balls have a tendency to go foul for you. Like, all right, I stay back on the breaking ball, I square it up, and then they are just foul. Feels so good. And you're maybe having the struggles, and then you're able to keep those fair. And yeah, a nice smile over there, shaking the hands, looking in the dugout.
Valera now turns on one and hits a fly ball to right field that Altair got up to for out number 2. Taylor's going to take 3rd. Well, Taylor's double came on the first pitch of the at-bat. He's swinging to the first pitch way more frequently this year, Nomar.
Which is fine. It's what we always have. Swinging at the first pitch, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a matter of being ready for that first pitch. We were talking about about a week ago when he was talking about how he had a good game against the Padres, but how he has a tendency to be guessing throughout the year compared to just reacting. And that's a sign of just not really trusting what you've been working on, or that you feel like you're getting beat at home plate. And I think that's been what we've seen a lot from him. And sometimes on the first pitch, you're thinking, okay, maybe get it out of the way. And you might be guessing a little bit, maybe swinging pitches out of the zone. But for him, there are times he has taken good swings in the zone, and he's just fouling it, which tells you you're off just a little bit from a mechanical standpoint. And that's the thing he's trying to carry over on a consistent basis. But we've also seen some of the strikeouts for Chris Taylor. A lot of them have been taking on third strikes, even fastballs for a third strike, which means, yes, it's exactly what he talked about, that he has a tendency to be guessing more rather than reacting. When he starts building that confidence, he'll react a lot more to pitches rather than guess.
Logan Forsythe ahead in the count 2-1. With Taylor at 3rd and 2 out. They scored runs in 4 of the 5 innings tonight. They scored 6 combined in the first 2 games. They've got 6 already in game 3. And on a 2-1 pitch, Forsythe takes ball 3. They're going to put him on intentionally with that 3-ball count, and the pitcher on deck and 2 out.
Forsythe is being walked intentionally. Now batting.
Here comes Stripling.
Number 68, Ross Stripling.
Perfect sacrifice his last time, and actually reached. Jorge Alfaro misplayed it. Strokes a base hit into center field. Have a night, Ross Stripling. 5 shutout innings so far, and now his first hit of the year produces a run.
Smiles everywhere. Justin Turner getting the night off, and it's nice to see the offense function so well with him getting some rest. And even Ross Stripling is pitching in, not only on the mound, but there with the bat.
First and second, Jock Peterson. Praying that thing gets to the seats, and it just rolled. Been a good night for Jock so far. Leadoff single in the first, came in to score. And his last time up with the bases loaded, swung at the first pitch. Really swung hard, swung looking for some slug, which you've not seen a ton of from him. He was able to elevate it, get it to the warning track, and bring home a run. Ball on a strike. The on-base percentage for Jock Peterson right around where it's been throughout his career. But that's slugging at a career low right now. He's ahead 2-1. So trying to find that happy medium. Count evens up. Bouncing ball. Cesar Hernandez throws Peterson out. But the Dodgers get 2 more. Ross Stripling had an RBI single. Before that, Chris Taylor ripped an RBI double, putting everything together in this one. 7-0 to the 6th. Cohen brought to you by Ross Stripling, who's got 7 Ks over 5 shutout innings.
He continues to impress. He continues to stay locked in, executing pitch after pitch after pitch. First pitch strikes again off the charts, almost 80%. The league average is around 60, and Ross during this hot streak has been bumping up against 80%.
And perhaps even more important tonight, on the heels of the bullpen going 7 1/3 last night, Stripling has only thrown 64 pitches through 5. For more than 100 his last time out. If he stays at his current rate, he's got a chance to approach a career high in innings pitched for a game. Got to go all the way back to his major league debut to find his longest outing. 7 1/3 in San Francisco, famously removed with the no-hitter intact. Herrera, Santana, and Altair for the Phillies in the 6th. Odubel Herrera takes strike 1. Ball on a strike. Part of the reason Ross Stripling was removed from that game with the no-hitter 2016 major league debut is that he was less than 2 years removed from Tommy John surgery at that point. April of 2014. That's popped up, and it looks like Muncie's got plenty of room. Calling, catching, 1 out.
Friday on an all-new Backstage Dodgers, check in on Corey Seager as he begins his rehab process after having Tommy John surgery. Plus, Seager is mic'd up in the dugout during a Dodgers win over the Rockies. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, Friday after the post-game show on Sportsnet LA.
1 out for Santana. Curve, strike one. Well, Stripling missed 14 months following the Tommy John surgery. Pretty standard. Get back in the middle of 2015 in the minors between A-ball and Double-A, and then said he came into spring training the next year just trying to remind the front office that he was still alive. Felt like it'd been that long. Making the team out of camp. This is the 5th starter in that 2016 season. They shut him down midway through, sent him back to Arizona to strengthen that lower half. His legs and mechanics have gotten a little bit thrown off, fatiguing later in games. At that point, his delivery, he said, was pretty much all arm. Now he'd always pitch to kind of create new muscle memory.
It's completely different when you're using your arm for accuracy, spin, and velocity, and then all of a sudden the arm's going along for the ride because you're using your lower half. I always relate it to a great sound system. You know, the average sound system just has volume. Well, that's just using your arm. Well, the great sound systems, you get the equalizer and you can balance stuff out. And then when you're using your lower half for the volume, and then you can use the hand and arm for adjustments like that, put some serious spin on the ball, kind of locating it inside, outside. If your arm isn't doing all the work, it's able to make those little finer adjustments to really become an outstanding pitcher. And that's the difference between like control and then command, where you're pinpoint and precise, and that's where Ross Stripling is living right now.
And as far as that curveball goes, which he uses to get Santana for his 8th K, some good curveballs have great depth to them. They drop a lot. Some are very firm curveballs. That one's tapped along first. Stripling's got it. He'll tag Altair. Seems like what Ross has right now is both those things. He's got the depth, he's got the velocity on the curve, and tonight he's got 6 more shutout innings. (1982). Cal Ripken Jr. began his streak. 21-year-old batting 8th for the Orioles in Toronto. Went 0 for 2. It started that record run of 2,632 consecutive games. And 16 years later, 1998, that streak came to an end. Longest since 1,152 from Miguel Tejada in the early 2000s. Next month, you'd open the 6th for the Dodgers and take a strike from Morano. It's never going to be even. Nobody's ever going to get even within stone's throw. 2,632.
Be lucky to see somebody play 1,000.
Yeah. Longest active right now is 388. Alcides Escobar in Kansas City. Longest this decade. And this just kind of goes to show you where the game is now and why it's going to be so hard for anybody to get anywhere close to that number. 547 is the longest streak this decade, which is admirable, but it's 2,000 away from where Ripken was. Muncy takes strike 3, 1 gone here in the 6th.
Catcher number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
Prince Fielder now retired. Injuries that he went through his last couple of years. Most recently seen hosting a traveling food show with his wife called Fielder's Choice. They go around and eat food with celebrities. Strike 1 on Grandal. You can find it on Amazon streaming.
Another type of endurance record.
Yeah. Grandal yanks one to right center field for a base hit. He is
Right fielder,
the
number
final Dodger to
27,
get a hit in the lineup. All 9 guys with a base hit tonight.
Yasmani always been a very good low ball hitter, especially the fastball, but they're hitting something off speed. Dodgers have had their way with the Phillies bullpen in this series. Starters have been good usually. The Phillies bullpen has given up 6 runs, or 6 runs, 5 earned in just 5 2/3 innings.
Now Kemp, 2 hits, 3 runs driven in tonight. Drags a bouncing ball to third. They go to second, 1. Not in time at first. Legs out of Fielder's Choice.
Center fielder, number 35, Cody Bellinger.
With 2 out, Cody Bellinger. 3 for his last 41 coming into the game. Tonight, 2 for 3.
Whenever you make an adjustment, no matter how you got motivated to make that adjustment, it's always a lot of fun when you get some results. And Cody, with the position of the bat tonight, is new and different. He's gotten a couple of knocks with it.
Takes ball 1. Dodgers trying to move to 6-3 on the homestand with their best offensive performance of the homestand. Most runs they'd scored since the final day in Washington.
Trying to win tonight and tomorrow and win another series. It'd be their 4th series win in a row. And at this point in the season, they're just trying to concentrate, as you see Clayton Kershaw breaking down Cody Bellinger's swing and maybe why he has so much trouble with that up fastball.
Two and two.
Interesting to see a pitcher break down a hitter. I used to have hitters come down and watch my side works from the batter's box or even just from behind me and help me break down my pitch selection.
Arano gets him on 3 high fastballs. On to the second 0 put up by Phillies pitching tonight. Sun, one more in this homestand. Notice the start time tomorrow is different, 4:30. And then the Rockies host the Dodgers over the weekend. They continue the trip on to Pittsburgh. Rockies, by the way, losing tonight to the San Francisco Giants, and so the deficit in the division is at 4 right now. And Ross Stripling and the Dodgers with a chance to cut it to 3.5. Nick Williams, strike one. Diamondbacks also lost today. And so the Dodgers with a chance to get to within 2 of Arizona. One ball, one strike. Hammered to center. Bellinger's back, out of room. The shutout's gone, and a home run from Nick Williams. Second one in as many nights for Williams in a 7-1 game in the 7th.
Ross Stripling has shut this Phillies offense down. Only one base runner since he walked the leadoff hitter in the 2nd. But this one is not a base runner, but it does end up tallying a run. A hanging changeup he got.
And still in the fucking wall.
Scott Kingery pulls it sharply, but Taylor's there.
Celebrate the Dodgers pinch hitting whiz Manny Mota at the Dodger game on Saturday, June 9th versus the Braves. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Manny Mota bobblehead presented by Jack in the Box. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
With one out, Stripling throws a curve in the dirt to Mitch Walding, who has struck out in both of his ABs here in his major league debut. The curve 1-1. With their loss tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks 4-16 in their last 20. Two and one. It's hard to envision that coming. I mean, they were playing really well. They had a 24-11 just a few weeks ago. They're now one game above 500. The 24-11 record was the best in the National League, but since then they have the worst record in baseball. During that same time frame, it's the Milwaukee Brewers that have the best record. Full count.
If you took a pulse of the National League West, just emotionally, you've got to feel like the Dodgers almost feel like the team with the best emotions of where they're headed. With everything that's even swirling around them, with all the guys on the DL. With the offense kind of being a little bit inconsistent. Hitting with runners in scoring position really not there, but the long ball's starting to come back. The winds are starting to match up. They're starting to ham and egg it with their starting pitching and with their relief pitching. They're finding ways to get it done in the last 4 series.
He strikes him out. Number 9 for Stripling. 2 gone in the 7th.
Catcher, Jorge Alfaro.
This one is on a slider. You talk about swing and miss pitches tonight. Yeah, the curveball's getting a lot of the highlights. But every pitch has been swung and missed at. 2 from the fastball, 3 from the sliders, 2 from the changeups, and then 5 curveballs.
You don't see many 4-pitch mixes like this. Even among the best starters, usually it's 2 or 3 where you get those swing and miss totals from. Swing and a miss on a high fastball to Alfaro. Boy, his last few times out, he's had a traditional 4-pitch mix with all of them working. Crackback bouncer that sneaks inside the bag past Muncy. Alfaro's headed for second as it peels away from Kemp, and he's got a 2-out double.
That bat just exploded. Almost like it was dry. See where he hits it. No, right off the end of the bat. That's why it exploded.
7, Michael Franco.
But you're right, Joe, about Ross Stripling. When you talk about his 4-pitch mix, he'll take those pitches to all different quadrants. And usually with a guy who has that many pitches, it's usually, oh, the slider's working tonight. Oh, the curveball's working tonight. You know what? He's got really good touch with the sliders. You know, it's biting, but it's not accurate. But the changeup's got good touch. But the last 3 starts for him, it's every pitch, whatever he needs.
Yeah.
It's like dial up a pitch.
Michael Franco are going to pinch hit here. Because hitters will pick up on that as the night goes on. They know what they can no longer have to think about. But Ross is making them think about all 4. First one to Franco is a curve at the knees, strike 1.
Talk about resting at the knees of a master right there with Walker Buehler talking with Clayton Kershaw.
Tom Kohler too. Tom started to work work his way back to a mound.
I am not worried about Walker Buehler not asking good questions. He's a really good question asker and gatherer of information. And the guy went to Vanderbilt, so he can store it also and recall it.
Stripling's 1-1. Fastball swung on and missed, 1-2.
The fun part is to be in that conversation and be Walker Buehler and then apply it in your next side work or your next start and walk around the mound after the light bulb goes on and goes, oh, that's what they mean when you're brave enough to take it into the game and try it, and then it works and you go, oh, light bulb just went on.
1-2. No about something.
They could be kidding Walker about, you know, you don't really have to think about this. You throw 98. It's like when Sandy Koufax used to give me advice. We talk. I'm like, I got to take this with a grain of salt. He threw like 7-8 miles an hour harder than I did.
2-2. Or when he tried to show you how to grip the curveball on his fingers, would wrap around the entire baseball.
Sure did. And I used his grip, but it wasn't quite as much around the front of the ball as it was with Sandy. Sandy could actually touch, put the ball in his hand and touch like 2 fingers to his thumb. It's like that's how big his hands were.
Rolled past the bag to Forsythe. 7 splendid innings from Stripling. We stretch in a 7-1 game. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by SoCal Gas. For energy efficient rebates on qualifying appliances, go to SoCalGas.com/rebates. Drew Hutchison to pitch the bottom of the 7th. The first man that he'll face, Chris Taylor, headed up there, back into the spotlight with Nomar.
Well, CT3, nice double in this game. Talked about the breaking ball on the inner half. Talked about earlier when you're struggling, those have a tendency to go foul. When it goes fair, builds the confidence, which means that you're not necessarily coming around the ball, especially on a breaking ball. It means that your hands are going to the ball slightly inside to keep something like that fair, something to build on, something to remind yourself as you're going and you're trying to approach the ball. A lot of the times that we're seeing CT3, it looks like it's the same swing that he had last year, but he's either fouling the pitches off that he normally was making contact last year as compared to this year, and then it gets him in the hole where when you have 2 strikes you're behind, now he really, the guessing gets him in trouble. I think his timing is just a little bit off with his front leg when it gets down. I have a tendency that it's almost where it's not down early enough where then all of a sudden your body has a tendency to try to catch up and that barrel drops just a little bit. So it's really not that far off. I think that's why you see signs where it's right on, it's there, it looks like he's come out of those struggles, and then it gets right back on it. It's one of those things where you just got to trust yourself at times, get your foot down, and know that your hands and everything will follow smoothly.
Behind 1-2.
Right there, it's not the one I was talking about where he's fouling off, because that pitch was low in the zone. The one thing was you look at it, and sometimes when you're talking as a hitting coach, you go back. Even on that foul ball, you're going, where is that ball going? It's on the outer half. It was going the correct way. It was going to right field as compared to fouling it off maybe just over the first baseman or back. That's what you want. You're going, okay, at least your body's going the right way. Now we just got to think about that bat angle, maybe just a hair up. And that's why you just missed it, but you're not far off. So you take the little things as you're trying to build and maybe coming out of those struggles and say, all right, what is it that we just have to fine tune just a little bit rather than making a really major change.
1-2 again. Not able to lay off a pitch that was down. Taylor's the first out of the 7th. Looks like Ross Stripling is probably finished. His spot is due up 4th in this inning. 92 pitches, 1 run over 7 innings. Another fabulous outing.
One of the best seats in the house, the one he's in right now. Tomorrow will even be better if the W gets recorded, but for right now, to sit there, you are very satisfied with what you've done.
1 out for Breivik Valera. You surprised they're not going to send him out there for an 8th at 92 pitches for the bullpen, having been taxed yesterday?
The bullpen has got a 6-point lead, so Dave Roberts probably protecting Ross Stripling a little bit. If they're going to actually keep him in the rotation for a while, that's going to build up his innings for this year, and maybe you want to save some of those bullets for later. If it was a little tighter, maybe 1 or 2 run lead, they'd probably send Ross back out there.
You just hit me with a 6-point lead. You got NBA in the brain over there?
No, not really. Are they going to start soon? Have they got games coming?
Yeah, there's some coming up, yeah.
Okay. I'll be watching baseball.
Valera hits a bouncer that Santana gloves, feeds Hutchison on the bag for out number 2. Better defend the 3-point line in the late innings here.
Number 11.
Yeah. You don't need to bring the big men in yet.
Forsythe 1 for 2. He's singled and was put on intentionally after he got ahead 3-1. He can reach. Kike Hernandez will bat. Strike one. Looking forward to this matchup tomorrow, huh? Clayton Kershaw and Aaron Nola.
First and foremost, looking forward to seeing Clayton back, but Nola has been so good. It will be fun to watch him.
Kingery with a nice play, and the Phillies get the first 1, 2, 3 inning since the second. To the 8th, we check into the studio for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
Joe, another tremendous performance from Ross Stripling. 7 innings, Jerry, just 1 earned run.
Ross was dominant.
And the run support to prove it.
You know what? I like Cody Bellinger's night tonight, too. The run support's been excellent.
All right, another Dodger win, hopefully. And, of course, Cole Wright in the clubhouse getting reaction, guys.
All right, Alana. Yimi Garcia replaces Ross Stripling here in the 8th.
Yimi's ERA does not show it for the season, but I have a lot of confidence that this young man is going to help this Dodger bullpen. The accuracy has been there when he's been on. He's just trying to find a little bit more consistency, but the health is good. They've been building him up between the big leagues and AAA, and now back here with the Dodgers. Yimi Garcia is going to be somebody to deal with before this is all over with.
Top of the Phillies order here. Cesar Hernandez to lead the inning off. Broken bat flies into the crowd on a foul ball. Somehow made it into the crowd over the netting or between a couple of nets, and it looks like everybody's okay. How did that thing get into the seats? Right over it.
Good duck and a good use of the jacket.
And I guess good a Phillies fan gets it. It's a Phillies bat, right? Cesar Hernandez. He'll enjoy that more than somebody in Dodger blue may have.
Sometimes they will take that away and then give it back to you when the game's over, because they don't want somebody to have like a weapon in the stands. And then usually the usher gets booed for taking it. Very few people around know that you'll get it back.
So if they play by the rules that you propose, that you only get 1 bat per game, how are you using that one your next time up?
I don't know. He's going to have issues. Maybe you let him use sandpaper or kind of tailor it, but only using that same wood, you know.
Right. I'm just wondering if you maybe flip it around and grip it by the barrel, or
yeah, it'd be easy to jam them.
It would. Garcia's 2-2, and he gets Hernandez swinging for the first out of the 8th.
Start your weekend off with a bang at Dodger Stadium on Friday, June 8th at 7:10 when the Dodgers return home to take on the Braves. After the game, enjoy Friday night fireworks set to an LGBT night mix and presented by Denny's. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Odubel Herrera with 1 out. Well, a fan on Twitter got me digging into this former Phillies player, Hugh Mulcahy. Okay, he's from the 1930s, 1940s, and this is Joey Freeman from Twitter pointed this out. Hugh's nickname, Losing Pitcher.
Okay.
Hugh Losing Pitcher Mulcahy. And I thought, wow, can that be real?
Yeah.
It is. He wasn't even that bad, though. He had an ERA of about 4.5 throughout his career. He was even an all-star one time. But the Phillies in the late 30s and the early 40s were awful. And so he lost most of his starts, and sports writers nicknamed him Losing Pitcher because it seemed like anytime they'd see his name in the box score, it started with LP. LP Mulcahy. Losing Pitcher.
Got to be the worst nickname in all of baseball.
Oh, man. Kind of unfair. 2-1. Another nickname for him that had been given to him earlier in his career that was a little more appropriate but didn't stick. It had already been used as well, but Iron Horse. 220 innings or more, 4 straight seasons, including the final year before he left for the World War II service. He threw 280 innings. But was tagged with the nickname Losing Pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Herrera. He was just reaching his prime when he became the first major leaguer drafted into World War II. 9 months before Pearl Harbor. He just signed a new contract, just packed his suitcase. It was the day before he headed down to spring training when he received the notice that he'd been drafted. Garcia to Herrera with a 2-2 after hesitation in the delivery. Gets a fastball by him. Something that we've not seen him do. 2 out.
More and more guys around the big leagues are altering their deliveries from the stretch, but with nobody on, of course. That would be a balk if somebody was on, but the variations continue to come.
7-1 Dodgers, 8th inning with 2 out. It's Carlos Santana. On the surface, it looked like Hugh was very unlucky. Playing on a losing team. Getting drafted into the military right before he reached his prime. But years later, he considered himself the opposite. He considered himself a very lucky guy. Had a really nice outlook on how his career had gone. A couple defining things in that attitude for Hugh Losing Pitcher Mulcahy. The spring before he eventually made his major league debut, he was bending over to grab a bat in the on-deck circle, and while he bent over, the hitter fouled a ball that hit him square between the eyes. 2 balls, no strikes on Santana. And the doctor told him had it been 1 inch one way or another, he would have lost an eye. And very well might have done it for his major league career right then, without even having debuted in the majors. So, boy, he didn't feel real unlucky when 1 inch one way or the other, and he never would have had a major league career. Then while he was in the military, he was stationed in New Guinea We're in World War II. And much of his unit contracted a deadly tropical disease, and many of them died. He never got the disease and actually returned to the States and pitched another few years in the big leagues after that. So you may call him losing pitcher, you may call him unlucky, but he always looked at himself as very fortunate to have even made the big leagues, to have pitched in the big leagues for 8 years, and to have survived World War II. A 2-1. 2-2. Speeds the tempo up there. Another 2-2, and a changeup taken low and away. Full count on Carlos Santana.
Foul ball right back at our camera. Ooh, just missed it. Hit the pole that takes it up a little higher.
Dustin Denty would have been really mad at Carlos Santana.
Those lenses are expensive.
And he would have had to pay for it.
Yes, for sure. Here he has insurance.
On the camera.
Denty Insurance. Dustin Denty Insurance.
Nice. He would like you to stop.
I heard it in my ear also.
Dustin, a fabulous director.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we missed you.
I was on a little vacation.
Eighth pitch from Mimi Garcia to Carlos Santana. Bouncing ball wide of the bag. We'll do it again.
Are you the kind of guy that goes on vacation and when you get home you have to rest, or you go on vacation and you get rest? So I'm usually the guy that I come back from vacation. Sometimes I still need another day or two of rest.
Need a vacation from the vacation kind of thing?
It just kind of feels good to get home and have your own stuff and not have to maybe go to work. So I like just getting home a day or two early.
A flare that's going to drop in and keep the inning alive. I guess I'm probably with you. Yeah, get home. And I'm a homebody. So.
Yeah. And then when you get home, you know, you've got, hopefully you've got a few days of mail to catch up to, the 3 or 4 days, 5 days you've been away, whatever it's been. You got to catch up with that, and a few errands to get the house in order to make sure it's going to function well. So when the job starts back up, you're ready to go. The only reason I'm saying that is Dustin looked a little tired.
It's not fair Dustin doesn't have a microphone.
I think it's a blessing.
Aaron Altair takes ball 1 low. He can just get his cameraman to take shots of you while you're picking your nose or something embarrassing.
I was just talking to some of the young pitchers about that.
About picking your nose?
I actually was. I said, anytime you guys have a good outing, know that the next night when you're all showered and got your clean whites on, we're going to have the camera on you throughout the night talking about your good outing from the day before. So Ross Stripling tomorrow, anytime you got to reach for your nose, you better go up the tunnel, because we're going to be talking about Ross tomorrow.
Right. Well, so far this week we've gotten advice from Oral. First of all, don't be early. And now don't pick your nose the day after you have a good start.
Well,
Cy Young advice.
My mom used to hammer me. I'd get home and my voicemail would be lit up. She would, can you just keep your finger out of your nose, please?
A pop fly. Muncy giving it a look. Top of the dugout. Still 1-2.
Things that moms get upset about.
Altair came into the game 3 for 3 with a home run against Ross Stripling. Stripling retired him all 3 times tonight. Garcia's 1-2. Fastball ties him up. No swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base hit to left. Back-to-back 2-out hits against Yimi Garcia.
Number 5, Nick Williams.
A couple of 2-out hits. One hit hard, one hit softly. That's the way baseball goes. But if you end up with a good inning and getting a 0, you got to get the next guy out.
Nick Williams has produced the only run of this game for the Phillies with a solo shot against Stripling leading off the 7th. He corks this one foul. Well, the security guards down the line have that grab the chair and hop over the sidewall thing down to a science. Do you think they practice?
They get enough of them. They just got 3 down there. All 3. Oh.
Too cool for school down there in the end. But
the third one, the wall's a little higher.
That's true. Pop up into short center. Bellinger charges on. Taylor goes out, makes the catch. Side retired. A scoreless 8th for Yimi Garcia. And the Dodgers with a 7-1 lead. You get a hit. You get a hit. You get a hit. Everybody's got a hit tonight. Even Ross Stripling with an RBI single and a 7-1 lead as the Dodgers try to take a 2-1 series advantage. In front of the finale tomorrow. Joe Davis, Orel Hershiser, Nomar Garcia Park, Cole Wright. And Kike Hernandez pinch hitting to open this 8th inning, taking a ball high. 7 home runs this year. 3 of those 7 home runs using some of Chase Utley's equipment. Once using Chase's bat. Twice using Chase's shoes. Even though Chase wears bigger shoes than Kike, Kike wears his shoes typically tighter than he should, so size smaller. And so Chase is actually fit pretty well. Cena, infield single against the shift.
Number 31, Jock Peterson.
Leadoff man out in front of Jock Peterson at the top of the order. Dodgers on the verge of moving to 5-2 in games where Jock Peterson bats leadoff. Look out. Hernandez to second.
This one just gets away from everybody. Not a cross-up, it's just a wild pitch.
Bounced over the mound. Backhand play Kingery. Double clutches and throws late. See how this one is ruled, but without a ball leaving the infield here in the 8th, they've got him at the corners with nobody out.
First baseman number 13.
I haven't seen how they're going to score it yet. Maybe that little clutch will turn it into an error, but awfully hard error to get when there's an awful lot left in that play, even if you pull it out of your glove cleanly. Suspense is killing us.
I know. No ruling yet. It's a hit. Strike one on Max Muncy. Most hits in a game for the Dodgers in a few weeks. If they can plate one more run, it'd be the most runs in the month of May. 0-2. Franmil Reyes, the big fella for the Padres, homered tonight. Padres walk-off win over the Marlins. It's his 3rd straight game with a homer. That is a massive man. Once he takes it in the dirt, 2-2. Got the big league draft coming up in a few days on Monday. Front office hard at work planning that. I mean, what a giant project to get ready for when there are 50 rounds. On a 2-2. Once he takes it high, full count.
Evaluating ability and then signability. You don't want to waste high draft picks on somebody that really is not going to sign, or you know kind of a range of what they might sign for, and you're not willing to spend that kind of money. And you got to rank them against each other and then weigh it as people go off the board.
Once he down on strikes, one away. Time now for a look ahead, brought to you by Wells Fargo. We've touched on this matchup tomorrow. Aaron Nola, who is 6-2 with a 227, one of the best in the NL so far, and Clayton Kershaw with his first outing since May 1st.
2.86 ERA for Clayton Kershaw, and the 1-4 record. You can tell that he will be saying, hey, save some of these runs tonight for some tomorrow. Didn't have much support when he was in there. The offense starting to come around, and he can start reeling off some victories. But first and foremost, they're going to make sure that he's throwing the ball well and feels healthy.
Two and on Grandal. It's the third straight year Kershaw has had disabled list time, where the Dodgers have stepped their game up without him. In this case, especially the starting pitching. Because each time he goes down, it feels like it's the end of the world. But each time, guys have stepped into his place and kept things at least even, kept things afloat. Better than afloat in this case. Tonight trying to win their 10th out of their last 13 without him. It's a 4-pitch walk for Grandal. The bases are loaded.
Well, if you can have a team that can play 500 ball on the 4 nights, other than the night your ace goes, and then your ace is a guy that is 10 to 15 games over 500, there's your championship team.
Kemp's already driven in 3 tonight with a double in the first inning and a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. He's got Hernandez at 3rd, Peterson at 2nd, both with infield singles. And Grandal aboard after the walk. It's the first pitch that he sees in the air to center field. It's playable for Herrera, but it will bring home his 4th RBI of the night, giving him the team lead with 30 on the season. And the Dodgers have their high mark in May with an 8th spot.
Leads the team in RBIs and leads the National League in batting average, does Matt Kemp. Have a year so far, Matt.
Midfielder number 35, Bellinger.
And Bellinger up with 2 on and 2 out. I don't know about you, but for me, the best part about Matt Kemp's season is seeing the emotion that he's letting himself play with when he's coming through with these big hits and things are going well. You didn't always see that from him early on in his career. Ball 1 on Bellinger.
I'll let Matt take a little rest. Let Kike go play some defense. Take it in, big fella. You got to play tomorrow.
Two and 0.
Wasn't it described as Matt Kemp is playing with house money now?
Yeah,
feeling a little bit easier about coming to work every day, concentrating, and not feeling the pressure like he has to produce. He's just enjoying the production.
Yeah, it's really the first time in his career where nobody expected anything of him. On a 2-1, Bellinger takes a high strike, 2-2.
It's a tough one for Belly to look at because he's trying to lay off the high fastball as part of the strategy of, okay, maybe I've got a hole there, but I want to start laying off that. So he lays off of it, gets a call for a strike, and it probably was, I don't know. You tell me. Your eyes are better than mine. Strike?
Yeah, I think that if there's been a spot where Woodring has given a little more tonight, it's been up. Young umpire. Pacific Coast League umpire officially still, but called up. A Las Vegas native who actually played some college baseball here in Southern California, Santa Barbara City College. Deuces wild. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 pitch from Hutcherson. Somebody catch that?
Yep. Young man with a right-handed glove with a Jock Peterson jersey on right there.
That thing was spinning like crazy. That's a good catch. Bellinger tries to lay off and does to work the count full. According to another former college player in Southern California, Kerwin Danley. He played at San Diego State. His teammate Tony Gwynn. A 3-2. Good take from Bellinger to load the bases again. And it gets Chris Taylor to the plate with 2 out and the bases loaded. They've already driven in a run tonight with a double. And Nomar, what did you thought tonight watching Chris Taylor up close?
Well, I was telling you earlier how oftentimes when you hit down in the lineup, it's not always, you don't take it as a demotion, but as a way to possibly give you that confidence, because maybe you have those less at-bats compared to when you're leading off all the time. And if you get that one hit, maybe you're 1 for 4, 1 for 3 as compared to that 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 at the top of the lineup. Well, when your team scores a lot of runs like today, you're hitting 6. Well, here's your 5th at bat. So you go, might as well make the best of it. Capitalize on that double. Just try to have a just solid at-bat. No worry about the results and slowly build on what you've been building and try to continue with that confidence.
Take strike 1 from Hutcherson. Lays off, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 8 runs and the 13 hits tonight for the Dodgers, both the most in the month of May. A team that even during this run of 9-3 has only hit .230. Been able to overcome the low average with more home runs recently. Tonight a bunch of hits and a couple of home runs. Chased 1-2.
Swinging a breaking ball like that with Chris Taylor. We were talking about his prior at bat where he fouled the ball off, kind of going to right field, and the ball was on the outer half. Sometimes, even when the swing and miss can give you data to tell yourself, okay, make the adjustment, stay on the ball, let's try not to pull off of it. And that was much better. Fouls it off, but he stayed on it. Front shoulder wasn't flying out as much. We also saw his body, even though the bat slipped out of his hand, but his body was still kind of falling toward first base, going that way. That's okay. That means you're staying off the ball as compared to spinning off of the ball and you have your body maybe going toward third base.
Loaded up in the 8th inning. Here's another 1-2 to Chris Taylor. Fouled into the glove, strike 3. But the Dodgers get 1 more. 8 runs, the most in May, and 3 outs away from taking a series advantage. SoCal Land Rover retailers. Pat Venditti on to pitch the 9th inning of this 8-1 game. Just called up today with Chase Utley placed on the disabled list with the injured thumb. Kike Hernandez, after his pinch hit single, stays in and plays right.
Well, Pat was just added to the roster when they DL'd Chase Utley. Quickly got over here to Los Angeles to get ready to be in this game. You always remember that this guy is a switch pitcher, so you might see the glove on the left hand as it is right now, or the right hand when he throws left-handed.
Scott Kingery leads off this 9th inning. Bottom part of the order for the Phillies. And Venditti starts him with a strike. Frisbee slider in for strike 2. Reaches out and rolls it to short. That's where Chris Taylor's waiting. Kingery flies, but Taylor knew that and got rid of it quickly for the first out of the 9th.
Third baseman number 29, Mitch Walding.
Mitch Walding is trying to put the ball in play for the first time here in his major league debut. Struck out all 3 times against Ross Stripling. And now he's got to face a guy that can pitch with both hands. This big league thing's hard. Two and 0.
Mom, I'm coming home. They're throwing with both hands.
Nobody told me it would be like this. Two and 1.
That would be funny. What if he could rear back and just have the ball in either hand? Here we go. You don't know where it's coming from.
I wonder what that looks. I'm sure he's tried that, right? Throwing.
Yeah.
With both hands at the same time. It's just hard because what foot do you step with?
Well, yeah, you don't get the hip load. But if let's say you had no glove on and you held your hand behind your back and you had the ball in one hand or the other, then you just decided to stride towards the plate and throw with the hand that you decided to. You'd be like, oh, what is this guy doing? You'd have to go with no glove.
Just missed that inside corner.
Pitch cast has got it as a ball 2. Or when it's ball 3, a ball also.
Yeah, it can get confusing. That one's in there. Strike 3, 2 gone.
It's a fun night for the Dodgers. Coming off a loss, playing the Phillies, a 4-game series, a chance to win the series tomorrow. The offense gets going. Everybody reaches base, gets their hits. Everybody's going to be in a good mood after this one.
Phillies have struck out 12 times tonight. Strike 1.
But even in a better mood after this game to know your ace Clayton Kershaw coming back tomorrow.
It always feels different on the days when he's starting, doesn't it?
And it sure does.
So much movement. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's not about velocity with him, but he has tremendous deception, and he has displayed some very fine accuracy.
Venditti's 1-2 with a pause in the delivery. Everybody's doing it now, and then he gets away from him and hits Alfaro.
Going up the ladder, but this one not only goes high, but starts running in. Definitely not on purpose or purpose pitch at all in an 8-1 game. Pat to get the ball after the ball hit him, walked pretty much all the way into home plate, probably under his breath, apologized.
Number 15, Andrew Knapp.
Andrew Knapp going to pinch hit. That's ball 1.
Well, we talked about Venditti, something you don't see too often. Obviously, a pitcher that's able to throw with both hands. But prior to this at bat, you also have a guy who's coming up who's a switch hitter in Knapp. He looked into the dugout, looked in and say, okay, which way should I face this batter, lefty or right-handed? And even the umpire went out and was waiting for him to decide first. And they came in. Bob Guerin said, hey, go left-handed. So he looked at the umpire, says, I'm going to go left-handed. Knapp goes in, switches his helmet so he can grab the right-handed helmet and bat right-handed.
And there was a rule put in place because of Pat Venditti against a switch hitter. First time that happened in the minors. Guy's name was Ralph Henriquez, and they had a stalemate that lasted minutes. Back and forth they went. And so baseball had to put in a rule that you've got to establish which side you're going to hit from. Here comes Venditti with his 2-1. Knapp's out in front, 2-2. Pat's had kind of that look in his eye in this outing, hasn't he? Line drive left center. Knapp with a pinch hit base hit. First to third goes Alfaro.
Now batting number 16, Cesar Hernandez.
Dave Roberts explaining which hand he wanted him to go with, and same thing as Nomar just explained. Gonna have to switch the helmet again.
Switch the elbow pad. Get real complicated if you're a Gearsy guy.
Swings the same size bat from both sides, though. Didn't change the bat.
Knapp's going to take second. And they're just fine with that in a 7-run game. 2-0.
So Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt are just wanting to get Pat through this inning without having to get somebody up. Day game tomorrow at 4:35. It's a quick turnaround.
Two and one. Rockies and Diamondbacks both lost tonight, so the Dodgers on the verge of moving to within 2 games of Arizona. 3.5 of the Rockies. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hernandez. That count 4 RBIs in this one, continuing his push towards the All-Star game. Venditti to Hernandez, 2-2. Right in the knuckles, but flexed foul. With the Phillies' 4th loss in their last 6 games. Not won back-to-back games in more than 2 weeks. Coming back down to earth a little bit while the rest of the division, at least in Atlanta and Washington, is taken off. Nationals winners of 6 in a row now. 8 of 9. Breaks his bat on a teardrop that bounces in front of Forsythe. That was going to be a tough play with the way Hernandez runs. Alfaro's in to score, and it's 8-2.
Number 37, Odubel Herrera.
It goes back to the hit batter and why you give up this scratch run. That's going to happen right there. The hit batter does not have to happen.
Herrera's a left-handed hitter, so no question what Venditti will do here. He pitched with his left hand. Runners at the corners and 2 out, 9th inning. Swings and misses, strike 1. Hernandez to second. Yeah, the Washington Nationals are all 21-6 in their last 27 games. So 0-3 against the Dodgers. 21-3 against everybody else. Since the Dodgers swept them, Nats have won 8 of 9. Actually taken over first place. The Mets beating the Braves tonight. Herrera down the line, foul, and again Venditti's a strike away. Pop fly. Valera runs out of real estate. His fans are saying just end it already. Another 0-2. Seems like he's been a strike away forever. This is what you wanted to avoid. Good thing is, if one arm gets too tired, he can switch over to the other. That's it. All Dodgers in this one. Kemp drives in 4. They win at 8-2.
Contributions up and down the lineup. Peterson with a couple hits. Belly got a couple hits. Everybody scored a run, and the Dodgers are going to go home happy.
Player of the game in this one brought to you by Lexus. Ross Stripling, 7 innings, gives up just 1 run on the leadoff home run from Williams in the 7th, but he continues what has been a tremendous stretch, one of the best in the National League here in the month of May, and making as good a case as anybody to be the National League's pitcher of the month. The Dodgers back to within 3 games of 500. They'll have a chance to take 3 of 4 from the Phillies tomorrow behind Clayton Kershaw. 4:30 first pitch right here. For Oral, Nomar, Cole, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.